Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to our online study. So have you eaten your breakfast yet? Okay, so I hope you finish your breakfast and finish taking a bath, okay? So make sure that you are ready for our online class. So today we are going to continue our lesson in the listening to the news one. Okay, so before I am going to talk about our lesson today, let me talk about something that you learned from yesterday. Okay, so yesterday we learned about what, everyone? So you learned about about the dialogue section. So in the dialogue section, what did you learn? What did you study? So you studied about the conversation between two people, right? Okay, so anyway, in that dialogue section, you also hear someone about talking about the flying in an airplane, right? And moreover, they also talk about their vacation. So the other speaker said he would spend his vacation to his grandparents' house, right? But for the other speaker, she said she really want to have a vacation that go to another country by flying flying in an airplane, right? And another thing is both speakers also describe about their feeling when they first, they take the airplane. They also describe what they are feeling, right? But for the man, he said he doesn't like to get on the airplane because he doesn't like the high place because it maybe can make him scared or whatever. Okay, so this is about our dialogue section that you learned yesterday. So today we are going to continue our lesson on page. Let's move to page 18 altogether. So on page 18, as you see in our book on page 18, is about our expanded reading. Okay, so so before we start, have you read something about our expanded reading? Okay, so it's good for you to read it before the class. Okay, so today we are going to study about this expanded reading. So now let's spend some time to read the reading all together. In 1783, two men from France flew in the first hot air balloon. Since then, ballooning has been a popular way to fly. People stand in a basket underneath the huge balloon. The baskets can hold more than two people. Hot air balloons work because warm air is lighter than cool air. Pilots control the balloon with a special gas burner. The burner heats the air inside the balloon to make it rise. To go down, they just let some hot air out of the top. There are many balloon festivals all over the world. The balloons are very colorful and are often made in interesting shapes like animals, people, or buildings. Okay, done, right? So after you finished our reading, so how do you feel about our content of the reading today? So mostly the content of our reading today is about the hot air balloon, right? Do you know what is hot air balloon? Okay, so you will see the pictures on our screen video. So here is the hot air balloon. So actually hot air balloon is referred to a large balloon that contains with the kind of one gas which is we call helium, right? So people use the helium gas because helium is a kind of gas that is lighter than air. So that's why that they can make the hot air balloon goes up into the sky, right? Okay, so another thing we also get from our reading is, like in 1783, there is one of festivals about the hot air balloon, right? Okay, so another thing is, if people want to enjoy the hot air balloon, they can go and stand inside of the basket. Okay, so as you can see in our picture, so the hot air balloon is some kind of it has a really large balloon, and then it also has the basket that can fit other people, maybe around 5 or 6 or around 10 people to stand on that hot air balloon, right? If the hot air balloon size is really large, okay, it is depend on the size of the balloon. Okay, and one more thing is, to make the hot air balloon rise up to the sky, of course, people need to use the kind of one gas which I mentioned to you earlier at the moment, helium, right? So they also use so that gas is really warm. It means like the air is really warm that can make the hot air balloon rise up to the sky. And another thing is warm air is lighter than cool air. So it means that if they use the cool air, it cannot make the balloon goes up easily. So that's why they have to use they need to use the warm air. When you see when you see hot air balloon, you also see the fire, right? So that's why people use that kind of fire to burn that kind of helium gas, which I told you already, that a gas that is lighter than the air, and that they can make the hot air balloon rise up to the sky. Okay. Well, so another thing is, they also have the special gas burner. Of course, we have the gas, we have the light gas already, but actually they still need another burner to make it burn. Of course, to make it burn to the sky, right? Alright, and one more thing is, in our reading, they also talk about the balloon festival. In a balloon festival, there are many balloons in that festival. So it may be a lot of colorful, yes, with colorful balloons. So, and for one more thing is, they make the balloon in different shape, right? Like the interesting shape. So they are animal shape, people shape, or building shapes. Okay. So this is the shape that people made balloon that balloon can be made as into that shape. Okay. All right. So we have finished our expanded reading, which I explained you earlier at the moment. So now let's try to answer another question. So here are two questions that you can answer. So the first question is, have you ever seen a hot air balloon or been in one? Have you, everyone? Okay, perhaps some of you have that experience, but another each of you maybe doesn't have that experience, right? So now let's move to our second question. Where would you most like to take a hot air balloon ride? Where, everyone? Yes, like I mentioned already, like you can go to maybe at Siem Reap, right? But for another country, you can go to the internet and then search for the hot air balloon places if you want. Okay, so if you want to try to find out many information from the hot air balloon, you can go to the Google as well by typing it, or you can scroll to the thing that you really want to know or really want to get the information from the hot air balloon. So one more thing is, if you want to know about the history of the hot air balloon, you can go to that, okay? But for me, I think the reason that people make the hot air balloon, because what? Because as you know, the balloon is for the kids, right? But anyway, that the inventor created the hot air balloon because they might think like they really want to use the balloon to make people fly. And then they created the really large balloon with the hot air, with the warm air that is cooler than the cold air. That's why the balloon can go or rise up into the sky. Okay, so we have finished about our first session. So you can have time for a break for 10 minutes. And then we are going to come back to our second session. Okay, enjoy your break time.